Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast, The Inquirers, the number one open-minded podcast all over the world. My name is Rafaela and today's episode will be focused on non-binary, gender orientation, and the sexual orientation. Let's go to see our special guests. Here we have the psychologist Juan Sanchez, the human resource expert and motivational coach Miguel Lascano, and finally, Pancho Villacrez, who is gonna give us a little bit of his experience of being discriminated and excluded for identifying as a non-binary person. Hi Juan, how are you?
Hi Rafa, fine, and you?
I'm really well. I've been thinking lately, you as a psychologist, do you consider yourself as a supporter of LGBTQ community?
Well, yes, of course I consider myself a supporter because I think that respect is the base for everything. If we as humans don't respect each other, then we are not as human as we think. Having different sexual orientations doesn't make us more or less.
That's exactly what I think. That's a really good introduction for our podcast. But going ahead, we have Pancho. Pancho, how are you? I have a question. You identify as a non-binary person. So, have you experienced any disadvantage or issue in the workplace?
Well, so first, like you said, I am identified like a non-binary person, and I think that every day we all suffer discrimination, and I think that in workplace there is like a lot more. First, I think that there is a lack of representative like for a community. And then I think that also there are not policies that are implemented for support.
No, that's really sad. I think that this kind of discrimination is really unfair because we don't have to judge people just because of their sexual orientation. I know, Miguel, how are you? You as a human resource expert, can you suggest us some steps to raise awareness about the non-binary gender and also to improve the tolerance and respect of the employees?
Well, talking about this problem is a cultural clash, to say. What makes conflict is the difference. So what we do is make they find their own similarities, like making a little place and something like that to know each other and know their similarities, because what makes it conflict is the difference.
Well, you hear it from an expert and it doesn't really hard, right? And going back to Juan, as a psychologist, can you explain us how the employers can improve the safety, inclusivity in jobs?
Well, yes, I think representation is an important aspect, and also like empathy. Apart from that, I think the thing that my friend Pancho said about the policies might and should be implemented to protect these people's integrity.
In my opinion, we have to create kind of a supportive environment and don't make them feel that they are apart from us because we are all the same. Miguel, I have a question. How can advocacy groups can create inclusion and go into these issues?
Well, the best, I will talk about the bigger one. If we talk about the big fish in this case, is like the ONU, because since the ONU take a really huge important place in the LGBTQ plus community, it says that we are unified, and if something happens, we can join together.
Yes, and I think that there is no recognition without representation. So the solution could be like create more policies for people to feel more represented by advocacy groups.
Yes, and make groups they feel comfort, everyone can express easily and in a better way.
That's really great. And Pancho, have your employers create some policies to eliminate and restrict all types of irrespect and inclusion against the LGBTQ community members?
I hear that in many parts of the world, Adobe is making a campaign that is called Adobe for All.
And have you heard something about the App Link program to create more inclusivity?
Yes, I think that I hear that Tim Cook, that is the CEO of Apple, won an award for like helping and supporting our organization and communities, and he also make like Apple to make special editions watches to give us support and donations for us.
Oh, that's really interesting. And I hope in the future we can be a more inclusive world. That's all for today, everybody. I hope this information was useful for you. Thank you to our guests
Thank you,
to be
Rafa, for
part
the
of
invitation.
this podcast. And adios to everyone. And we'll see you back in another podcast of Inquirers. Bye.